What doesn't work though is when you're writing, it's really hard to come up with a melody and force words into that melody. And it's really hard to come up with words and force a melody to, be combined with those words. There's definitely this marriage that needs to happen in order for songs to pop off the page and go, "Oh, like that worked." Hey, internet and internet people. It is your favorite teacher, composer, father, snowboarder, dog lover, soccer player person. Sitting here in my beautiful dungeon-like basement music studio that is set up. So if you end up liking this video, please give it that thumbs up so that we can get some traction and we can get a real studio in here and, I don't know, hopefully add some credibility to to these pieces. So I had this idea a few days ago about writing a piece of music about the ocean, about the sea and the joys of being on the sea, and posted something about I had this idea to have the choir kind of make the sound of crashing waves. So like, I feel like if you get 30-something kids doing that, it'll sound pretty good. Didn't put that in the song yet, but sat down. I had a chunk of time today. Sat down and kind of started fleshing out an idea, and I wanted to share it with you because I'm excited about it. And hopefully the final product is something that you'll be able to take back to your choirs or to your favorite choir teacher, director, and say, hey, here's a piece that I just found that I think you would like. So let me start with, I made another post about this, but I do use ChatGPT to help come up with lyrics. I'm not the best lyricist. I know this, and I need help. Rarely do I take what ChatGPT says verbatim. Okay, and in this case, I don't take anything that ChatGPT said, but I did get some inspiration from him. So here's what I told ChatGPT. I said, write me some lyrics for a sea shanty style choral piece for 4th and 5th graders. The theme should be about joy and the adventures of sailing, mixed in with overcoming challenges with teamwork. Sounds like a very nice theme for an elementary choir. Spat out, a verse, a chorus, another verse, a bridge, and I took like one or two words. I was like, ooh, that's a good word to use, and plugged that into my song. What doesn't work though is when you're writing, it's really hard to come up with a melody and force words into that melody. And it's really hard to come up with words and force a melody to, be combined with those words. There's definitely this marriage that needs to happen in order for songs to pop off the page and go, oh, like that worked. Because you have a natural flow to language. And if that flow doesn't fit with the meter of the song that you're writing, it's going to sound off. It's going to sound odd. So I'll show you here kind of where I had to play with the words and change some of the rhythms. But let me start. Here's my Ode to the Sea. Again, I created the Sibelius file. Didn't have a name for it yet. Just out of the blue, typed this, Ode to the Sea. And of course, what's the first thing that pops in your mind when you hear the word ode? Well, it's got to be... every time, right? So I had this really cool idea. I was like, can I work that melody in somewhere? We're talking about the joys of sea. You might as well talk about Ode to Joy. Give you the basic structure of what I came up with. Piano intro, again, I'm always very conscious. I'm gonna fill this in a little bit more, but I'm always very conscious when I'm writing piano parts. So I was a piano major. I feel like I can write pretty intricate and detailed piano music, but the people who are going to be playing this for, especially if it's an elementary choir, if you even have a accompanist, they are not typically a college trained piano player. So trying to write piano music that is simple enough but interesting enough, that's a tough balance to strike. So that's why I fleshed out bass lines and general melodic lines, and then I'll come back later. But here we go. So you have standard ocean tonality. I don't know where this came from, but as soon as you hear it, you go, oh yeah, that's the ocean. It's this minor chord with a major chord a whole step below it. Somehow you hear that's just the ocean. Somebody, if you know like where that tonality comes from, please leave a comment down below because I would love to learn. Anyway, that's the other thing too, is that if this song is going to be about the ocean, knowing that those chords immediately bring to mind the ocean is important when you're writing. Anyway, so here's the loose structure of chords for what I'm calling my chorus, my refrain that's going to keep coming back over and over. You have this D minor to G minor to the dominant of the D minor. But then instead of going back to the D, it goes down to the B flat. And I love that the phrase is actually cut short a little bit. I think it's going to keep the audience on their toes and be ready for, like, the ocean does have its unknowns. Anyhow, so it's going to open with a partner song. You have this melody. This is my main melody, and this is where I got the inspiration from ChatGPT, but none of these words are directly from it. So you have hoist the sail, grab the wind, off we go, a new adventure is calling through the storm or gentle breeze, our joy can only be found on the sea. These two measures I still am not super in love with, but this is where one of those examples of where I have to change the melody a little bit, pull on the words a little bit, because I think what I initially was hoping for was having something go, joy da 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 on the sea. Naturally seems to flow a little bit better, but I really like the idea of our joy can only be found on the sea, and so I'm not dead set on that yet. But that's just an example of where you have to change one or both of the melody and the lyrics. Anyway, so then it'll go back. It's got this little partner riff that goes with it. Let me just play it for you so you kind of get an idea. First time through is the top line. Second time through is the bottom line, right? And here we go. All right. Works together. I think it's pretty cool. Don't know what this bottom line is going to say yet. We'll figure that out. All right. So this is really first and second ending. I don't know. I haven't figured out how Sibelius works yet with that. So this will be third ending. We're kind of coming down into the bridge. So we've been in this D minor tonality. We're coming in the bridge now. So it walks it down to the G minor. Still have the major right underneath it. But then we're going to the E flat major. And then it's this cool turnaround where, if you're familiar with music theory, it's going to be a double secondary dominant. So it's what is effectively E minor 7. I'm taking the third and the fifth out and just replacing it with the fourth, so it's not as in your face. So we're coming out of the E flat. We're going to this tonality, this like secondary dominant, to the A minor, or to the A A dominant, back to the D minor, except once again we got to go fifth lower than that to get back to the G minor. So this whole thing, again, I'm nerding out on the theory, I apologize. But you have this I'll start with the E flat major chord though. Oh, I think it's going to be so cool. I don't know what the words are going to be on top of that yet, but I'm excited for it. Last time we come to the E flat, bottom of the page there, we transition to again, the secondary dominant, back to D minor. And then this, I think is going to be so cool. So this is like you're on the ocean, you're on the boat, and you have this stomp and this heave that comes between the two choirs. And I don't think I'll put any notes in for choreography, but certainly if somebody is feeling the creativity to do so. But you have the piano part just drops out and you just have this heave, ho, heave, ho, and it just builds and it builds and it builds, and then it's just gonna be the bottom falls out and you get this almost angelic introduction of Ode to Joy. This is gonna be so cool. Again, rewrote the words. Again, kind of just came to me. And it's weird how that happens sometimes. I can sit down and be like, I'm going to write a song, and I'll sit there with a blank page for about 7 hours. And other times, it just all flows out. All right, so it drops out. I think probably what I'll do is I'll just have the piano very lightly adding the third underneath this. But starting with the bottom of the page there, the mighty ocean, we adore you, though you test our bravery. With our hands and hearts united, we will sail the endless sea. So this is all in like perceived F major, which of course is just the relative key of, we're right back to our D minor, which is where we've been. So I figured out it doesn't work perfectly, but Ode to Joy kind of fits in with this chord structure that I came up with. So you have this. Anywho, I'll fast forward so you can hear these two lines together, because I might play around with a little bit yet, but let's just go all the way to the end so you hear it. I'm excited about it. Hey! Oh, okay. Sorry. I'm super excited about it. I can't wait to finish it for y'all. Of course, once I do and it's made available, yeah, it'll be you'll be able to find it. So please, if you haven't already done so, if you made it this far in the video, first of all, again, comment on if you know anything about the history of that, or just comment chord structure. I don't know. Let's just do that. Chord structure. That way I know if you leave the just random comment chord structure, I'll know that you watched it to the end. I appreciate that. Click the subscribe button. That way YouTube can start paying me and I can get a real studio down here. That would be amazing. That would be so nice. Anyway, thanks for watching. I appreciate you. Please stay tuned for the finished product. I'm so pumped.